then and then that will make 4 of us. Hello, everybody.
Hi.
We're live. How we doing? We're just catching up behind the scenes, and there's lots going on. Lots going on. Welcome to the final show of 2025. EJ, we've missed you. It's good to have you back.
I know it has been a couple of months at least, hasn't it? I have missed you too. I hope everybody's okay. It's all smiles. I have been seeing you guys online doing extraordinary things, both of you. So
bless you. Bless you.
Good to see.
Bless you. Yeah, it's been, who knew? I don't know what made me, well, obviously it has been almost a year, but can you believe it? 45 or 46 shows.
Yeah, and you saw my post today. It was a year ago that me and Victoria and a few other people, we went to see Loose Women, and like I have literally always wanted to be on Loose Women. Like I want to be interviewed on there, but then I also want to be one of the
panelists.
Like that's what I've always wanted to be on there from as long as I can remember. When we went to see it, I was like, right, this is the first step. First, I'm in the audience, then I'm a guest. Then they invite me to be on the panel one day. I'm like, is this dream too big? And then like, we were like, well, why don't we just create our own thing? Why do we have to wait to be invited? We'll just create our own.
Do you know what's so funny? I'm actually, do you know what? I don't normally add them, but I'm gonna add Facebook on here and stuff, just because we can. But do you know what's so funny is we actually, so I'd been wanting to do a show for years and never really got round to doing it. And it's, to be honest with you, I just wanted the right, the right people.
Yeah.
If that makes sense. I just wanted the right people, and I just couldn't figure out who would be the best people to actually be part of it. And when we went to Loose Women, I'd already been on their panel to have pictures taken because they'd asked me to be part of, I think it was the rehearsals. That's what it was. It was the rehearsals. So they'd asked me to do the rehearsals, and I was like, do you know what? Yeah. And it was one of those where people saw it and went, oh my God, you're on Loose Women. I was like, no, I'm not on Loose Women, but that's the plan. The plan is to be on Loose Women or on a show similar to that. And it's been an incredible time. So first and foremost, you two are two of the originals. So I want to say thank you for saying yes, because that's really important. I actually want to know, EJ, what made you say yes?
Well, first I want to start by saying sorry that I haven't been here. Life has been lifing at the moment.
Lifing.
And I am coming through a time, let's put it that way. But I'm still here, still smiling, and I've shown up today. So thank you for being patient with me. Why did I say yes? Because it was you. I was buying into what I know of you. I have been asked to do something like this before, but it just didn't align. But with you, I knew that there would be, first of all, we get on. I respect the work that you do. I like your approach to life. I like to talk. I do like to talk. And you were going to, we've had conversations, and I like the way you hold space and things. But in all honesty, without it sounding cliche, I was buying into you. And then also I stayed because if you remember with Rochelle and Liz, it's such a good laugh. And I enjoyed how we would always get to the same place, but through different routes, because of our very diverse life experiences. We're all women, but our life experiences sort of somehow lead us to similar conclusions on various topics, but I like hearing what Rochelle has to say. I'm fascinated by Rochelle, a woman in construction, and then the LinkedIn side of things as well. So I have enjoyed it. For me, it's more the personalities than anything else, and the fact that we can talk about absolutely anything. It's been brilliant.
And you know what? We've never had a row, like a major disagreement.
That's what I mean. Online. Yeah, like it will be different, but it will just somehow.
I think that's because we've all got similar values in life, haven't we? And I think that's always gonna. We all see the best in people. We see it. We lead with kindness, and there's a lot of horrible people out there, aren't there, who can't see the best in anyone. And we are
challenged, Rochelle. Challenge people. What's a horrible challenge?
Horrible people.
Rochelle's dealing with a poorly child today, so you got to bear with her, and she's tired.
I need a nap.
Oh, it's hi Pfizer. Hi, thanks for saying hello. Oh God, we've got people. So we tend to bring in quite a lot of people online now and stuff. So we've got about 12 of you listening. Hello, Warsaw. Hi, nice. Thank you so much. Yeah, so it's always good to hear from you. We're going to be coming back next year. We're currently right now, because I'm spending a lot of time on client sites. We're trying to find out what's the best day, so just bear with us, but we will be back live. We want to know what topics you want us to talk about, and I'm going to put at the bottom here how you can find us on YouTube. You can find us on Instagram. So we normally stream there. I can see that we're doing it on Facebook today, but that's just because I want people to know that it is our final show of the year. So, ladies, Rochelle, what made you say yes? Apart from what?
I don't even know if you gave it me as an option.
She didn't have a choice.
No, also, I think for me, I know that obviously speaking in public, speaking on stage is something that I want to do lots and lots of. So for me, it felt like the perfect opportunity to get more confident, not just speaking about things that I really know about, like not just speaking about property or social media or anything like that, but speaking about different topics and getting my points of view across. Like, I am a very opinionated person, and sometimes I probably do hold back on what I've got to say, because I'm also a people pleaser. So having platforms like this to actually be able to discuss things and have good quality conversations, like there's not, when you're working at home on your own a lot of the time, you don't get to have great quality conversations. So I think this is a great space for us to be able to open up and say what we think, and sometimes think about things that we've never really thought about before. Got lots of comments.
That's amazing.
Yeah,
we have got lots of comments. Oh, Jehan, oh yes, please subscribe. Please, yes, thank you so much. Yes, so he's subscribed. Thank you so much. And let us know what you want us to talk about next year. Give us topics that you want to talk about. Yeah, I mean, it's funny because I think I'm a mixture of everybody that's pretty much here, and we've got Naomi joining soon. So Naomi and Helen came in recently, and it's more about the fact that allowing us to go out and do things that we want to do. So we're getting busier and busier and busier, and we want to make sure that the show goes on even when we can't make it. So we try and sort of like make sure that we've got enough people. So it was so funny because I'm sure EJ won't mind me saying this, but EJ was like, "Is it okay if I come back?" I was like, "Of course it is. Your space is here. This is your home. You don't have to ask."
Did I tell you about the dream I had, Victoria?
Yes. So she said she had a dream about me saying, "Oh, you're not welcome on the panel anymore." I was like, "Girl, you know." So I mean, the fact of the matter is, everybody who's been asked to be here, and we've had several guest panelists as well, and we want to say thank you. So we've had people like we call her ECL now, Regina, Elizabeth, Carly Leonard, Shelley Shulman.
Liz Bateson was one of the original two.
Yes. Yeah. Bye. Thank you. Yes, Miss Bateson and stuff. So
you had a guy as well, didn't you, when I wasn't here one week?
Who?
A man. I can't remember what it was called.
Oh yeah, 007, Mr. Stanhope, Tom Stanhope. Yes. So he came on and we did ADHD. We talked about ADHD. We've had a lot of people come on and just help us out and just be part of the journey and stuff. So, and nobody's ever said no unless they couldn't make it on that date. But they've always said, oh, let me know when you're doing it again. So I want to say thank you as well, because without you, sometimes the show, I mean, listen, we always make a good show, but it's always good to have different points of opinions. Yeah, 100%. Now, AJ, it's been a while, but can you think of one of your favorite topics that we covered?
Oh God, that's good. That's not. I have never not enjoyed a conversation that we've had. But when we talked, there was a time we talked about friendships, and for me that was quite a useful one for me, because I explained at the time, because we sort of linked it in with networking as well, and our attitudes to networking and friendships and stuff like that. And that's the one that, I mean, I've enjoyed everything. We've talked about so many things, but that comes first in my mind because of where I was at the time, shying away from relationships with, especially with other women, and then maybe walking into a room where I'm meant to be networking, but I would rather just not be there. And just hearing how everybody on the call, sort of the approach that you had to it, and how you sort of overcame sort of the things that you would normally overcome as part of a networking thing. And also the concerns that we had in terms of friendships. And I remember, Rochelle, you gave an example of your friend group, like you had this group and then you had this other group, that's for me sort of reassured me that I'm not the only one who is a bit weird when it comes to building relationships. And then you say about being a people pleaser, and then that was me as well. So for me, that's what first comes to mind. But there is nothing we've spoken about. We've talked about Meghan Markle as well.
Oh, that was
God, that was a good one.
Supreme Court's ruling on trans women. We had that conversation as well, and all of these have been they've taken us to quite deep places, and it's been such a lovely forum to be vulnerable. I remember one time I logged on, and there was no ounce of makeup on my face, which is not me at all. But I just logged on for people to. That's just because I need to have this chat, So it's been a wonderful opportunity to be able to be safely vulnerable. But that conversation about friendships and how we behave in rooms where we're meant to be networking, I remember that because that landed for me in a really good place.
Oh, thank you, EJ. And what about you, Rochelle?
So I can't remember what the exact theme was, but one that always comes to mind is one where we've had conversations where Naomi's been there, and you and Naomi come in from being single, not having children, like the just talking about how I think we all have different problems in our lives and different different things to deal with, and I think I probably never understood like some of the problems that people might have as a single person, having to be the only person bringing in the money to that house, the only person to do the cooking, the only person to do the cleaning, and then same vice versa. I think you and Naomi had probably a newfound respect for parents, where you've gone like, okay, we have to do all this stuff by ourselves, but then they've got 2 kids running around that they've got to take to school and everything. So I think just seeing different way different people live their lives. I think we might have done one similar topic actually with you, EJ, as well. Just obviously we've got similar with the two children, running businesses, working and juggling it all, and it's nice to see those comparisons between us.
Can I add another one actually, Victoria, if that's okay? Do you remember when we had the conversation about caring for your parents?
Yes,
the roles?
That was one of mine.
That was another. We had people come in as well. Do you remember? We had those 2 ladies, and one of them, I think she was caring for her dad who had dementia. And
that was Naomi. That was Naomi.
I haven't met you.
Yes,
that was another very good conversation.
That was a good one. I think there was about 6 of us on that one. That was one of my favorite ones. There was about 6 of us, and what really, it makes me realize how fortunate I am, because my mom's 80, and yes, she's old and what have you, but right now as we speak, my mom is hosting a school meeting in her house. Like, she's she's a board member and an owner of a school. Right now, as we speak, she's having a meeting. I called her earlier on and she was just like, yeah, I'm in a meeting. I was like, okay, love you, bye. And so when I got dumped very quickly. So it makes me realize how fortunate I am that my mom is still cognitively savvy and everything else. But it also reminded me how much we suppress. So I call my mom in the morning to make sure she's okay, to make sure, you know, most of the time I check in to see what her readings are, but also just to see if I need to do any healing for her. And then at night as well, I call her. I mean, don't get me wrong, me and my mom have some great chats. So it's not just about care.
That's true. Yeah.
But I am that sibling that calls twice a day, sometimes 3, just to make sure she's okay and to see where she's at. And I don't see it as a chore. I actually see it as an honor. But that particular episode made me realize how tiring it actually can be and how much it can take out of you, because it's like having a child, I guess, because you're having to look after the well-being of that person. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And she's here. Hello, gorgeous one. Hello. Your ears must have been burning because we've been talking. Please don't apologize. We knew you were going to be. I was telling the audience that you'll be back, and we've mentioned your name a few times. But we're just talking about our favorite episodes of the year. And I was saying that, EJ actually said that one of hers was the looking after your parents thing. And I was saying that was going to be mine as well. Because what it made me realize that, first and foremost, as much as it's an honor to look after my mum, who is more cognitively savvy, I didn't realize till I spoke to you guys who are part of the audience how tiring it is and how exhausting it is and how much it takes away from you and how much one needs to acknowledge that and go, do you know what? I don't loathe doing it, but it is tiring. So I need to take a break and I need to be okay. I need to be okay to look after them, if that makes sense and stuff. So for me, that was a great episode. And then my other favorite episode, do you know what? It's not a particular episode. It's been getting to know all you women. Like there's things about you that I didn't know. So I didn't know. So when I met EJ, we met because we were speaking on which is what is now the Big Festoon. I can't remember the name now, but whatever was Be Inspired, that's it. So we met because we were asked to speak at that event. So we were guest speakers and we met and we clicked and we've kind of sort of like, you know, managed that friendship and it's gradually grown. But I didn't know that EJ was his magistrate. I didn't know that she looked after a group of children or a charity back in Nigeria. Like there was so much that I didn't know. And what this has allowed me to do, it's allowed me to get to know people. And even like with Naomi and stuff, like me and Naomi see each other at events and we say hello, we give each other a hug. I know about the Silver Fox because I think her dad's gorgeous and stuff and that she looks after him. But other than that and stuff, it's like all I see is online. So when you get to see someone, when you bring somebody into this space, we get to know each other a lot more, which has just been, I just think it's been beautiful. And I feel like it's nurturing a friendship without forcing it and stuff. It's just energetically just aligning. So, Naomi Holbrook, now that you're here, what's your favorite episode?
Isn't that a bit like asking you to choose your favorite child, like favorite child? I don't know from experience, but I kind of think that's what you're asking me to do. So I kind of feel like I have to say, like, I don't have any favorites. I have loved every single conversation and episode because, like, of what's come from them. I remember one that we had, the three of us with obviously Rochelle, yourself and me, where we talked about independent living. And do you know what? I really love that because, again, it was like, it was having the two different sides and two different perspectives. So I think I don't have a favorite. I think that they've all just been so like open and honest, and each of us have learned things from them, learned about each other, but also like had our own sort of takeaways and light bulb moments. So yeah, I cannot say a favorite.
Sorry. I love that. Very, very diplomatic. Very, very, very diplomatic. Oh, somebody wants to know what Rochelle's skincare routine is. I'll leave that for Rochelle to comment.
Listen, my face is lucky if it sees a splash of water. I'm not even joking. My face does not like soap. I'm scared of getting soap in my eyes.
I love it.
See, I told you we get to learn things about people. That's hilarious.
Rochelle doesn't wash her face.
Yeah,
I'm
Rochelle
like,
doesn't
oh,
wash her
quick,
face.
get it off. I don't like it being wet.
That's so funny.
That's funny.
That's so funny. That's hilarious. That's hilarious. So we've had a long year. One thing that I'll say as well, and I'm sure Rochelle will agree with me with this, because this time last year, me and Rochelle were on our knees business-wise. I think Rochelle had started to see
It had started to pick up for me. The light, the
light and stuff. But oh God, business was dire. And it's interesting how each week we've come on and things have just gotten better and better and better and better and better. And it's funny because normally you record it maybe on a video, maybe once a week, but seeing it through this and seeing us still show up and still, because that's what we've done. We've showed up and we've been present and we've come up with some great topics and everything else. I just see that as a massive achievement, because it would have been easy. It would have been really easy to just get under a duvet and go, I don't want to see the world. I don't want to talk to the world or anything. But
some of us have done that.
Yeah. And you know what? You have to do what works. But I almost feel like this has been a bit of therapy as well, because we've talked about stuff that's personal to us, and we've shared our lives. I don't feel as if anybody has censored anything, which is amazing. Like everybody has just come and just sort of like given their own impression and stuff. Question: what has been the highlight of your year, whether it's personally or professionally? And I'm going to go for Rochelle first.
Oh, for me. Right, what's been the highlight? I feel like when you say that, everything then just blends into one. I'm like, was that this year? What has actually been happening this year? I think it's important. I have been looking at the year and seeing what's gone well, what's gone bad, what could I have done better, what can I improve on, and I'm excited for next year. I'm just looking at my notes actually, because I did write down some good things that have happened, and I'm like, well, just like a week ago, 2 weeks ago now, I ran my first in-person event. Like, that's pretty recent. I was like, I looked
that was good
about that, and so I just looked at my notes and I was like, oh yeah, I did that. And that was something that at the beginning of the year I probably would have never expected that I'd do that. So that was a big achievement, and I'm looking forward to definitely doing more next year, because I absolutely loved it. I've done lots of firsts actually, because I did my first proper launch, like challenge into masterclass, launched into some LinkedIn training, and next year I've got a few launches planned for some property training that I'm going to be doing. I increased my prices massively this year, which was an achievement. We always know, like, sometimes we hold back with those kind of things. So
she doesn't like to increase your prices, guys. Like, she doesn't like it. I'm the one that says increase it. Put it out.
Yeah, I do actually. I think it's just that I know with an increase in price comes a little dip. Like, it's almost like you have to get comfortable first with that price before people will buy at that price. So it's not that I don't like to charge more. It's just like getting over that little hump where, you just need to say it over and over again, and eventually you'll believe that price, and then people will believe in that price too. So I think that's why.
Is it that you like charging but you don't like asking? Because I think there's a difference, isn't there?
Well, I just don't like chasing. I'm like, people should just buy from me. Like, why are you making me follow up and describe everything? Just
guys.
Good.
Just pay.
Just buy from us, guys. Just buy. EJ, what about you? What's been your best achievement this year?
Professionally, there's two big ones for me. And the first one is, this is the year that I did my TEDx talk.
Oh, yeah.
And the build up to that was all consuming. The TEDx branch of, town I chose to do it in, their standard is quite high. And the conversations about, we started basically in November of 2024 for an event that was going to be in July 2025. And it was every week of coaching and getting ready and, getting my script done and everything. And it's because I'm a public speaker, but the TEDx is not a natural process. It's not natural. I can stand and talk anywhere about anything, but with the TEDx thing, it was quite the challenge to nail it down to what they want, and then the wait for it to be accepted by TEDx and then published on YouTube. So for me, that was, just standing on that stage that day was, at the end I came out and I just wept. Because for me it was such a big deal. So there is that. And then also this year in around the May time, I had my largest live audience. So it was in Birmingham, forgotten what the place in Birmingham is called. But I was the keynote speaker for an NHS thing, and there was 1,200 people in the audience. And, that's like the biggest in-person thing I've done. And the feedback that came from that and what's come from that for me has just, because I don't know, I'm sure I've mentioned this before, how much I doubt myself and how the imposter syndrome for me can be quite crushing. But here I am, and I've achieved. I mean, over the year, obviously, I've done other speaking engagements, which I've been quite proud of. On a personal level, I have two daughters. One is 10, one is 8. And honestly, our relationship this year, I've been quite intentional with, because one of the talks that I do, I say, who's the loudest voice in your head? You need to be conscious about. So I was very intentional about being the loudest voice in my children's head. And I want their identity to come from what I say to them, because they are hearing a lot of things outside. They're hearing a lot of things in school. And I wanted to be the one to shape who they are. So, but then also I'm going to sound like one of those African pushy moms. Now, I don't care. I am. But my 10-year-old did the 11 plus. And I don't know, apparently this is not done. I'm not British. Well, I am on paper, but I wasn't born here. And the education system blows my mind. I don't understand it. Anyway, in my part of the world, we do the 11 plus exam, which then allows the children go to grammar school. More and more children are choosing not to do it now. But as you can imagine, group of girls talking, I'm going to do it because I'm going to go to this school and I'm going to go to that school. And I didn't know that people start to prepare for it a lot earlier than I woke up to it. So I'm like, oh no, shoot, we need to get you ready. And I'm not a teacher. I'm not patient enough to teach anything to anybody. But she passed with some really high scores with, the strategy that I put in place. And for us as a family, big deal, because I had this whole thing in my head about being a single mom. It's going to be my child who doesn't pass. It's going to be my child who doesn't do well because I got so many other things to do. But that guilt has gone because she absolutely smashed it, so
Good.
Seeing that as a win for me as well.
That's really good, EJ. And please, let's work on that guilt and stuff, because I don't see you like that. I would, to be honest with you, it's like, I'm just very much sort of like, well, you're very present in your children's life. Okay, yes, they are 10 and 8 and they're going on 40. We know that. Oh my God. But as far as I'm concerned, I believe that you're a great mom, and it's not just to massage your ego. Thinking that they would not pass their exams, to me, is just like, I don't see that. So, but congratulations. And I know it's not been an easy year.
There were days, Victoria. Can I just give a very quick example where my daughter, I'm sitting next to her and I say, what's the answer? And she says, 95 degrees. The answer was not going to be in degrees. So I'm looking at her like, what do you mean? 95 degrees. What do you mean by that? How did you come up? It's not a degree. It's not going to be. What do you mean? Why? How did you get that as the answer? And do you know what she said? I just feel like that could be the answer. I nearly, I just got up, right? Okay, bye. Bye. I can't. Okay.
I'm done.
Yeah.
Oh,
so, anyway.
Naomi, what's your best achievement this year?
My God, it has been a hell of a year.
Hasn't it just?
I think professionally it has to be my little baby, my publishing and having an Amazon #1 bestseller. Yeah, I mean, that was a huge one for me, absolutely huge. And also what it then has, the impact that has then had. So yeah, I think there's no doubt that professionally and publishing it, on literally days after my 50th birthday was just, it felt like a really, a big milestone. So it has been an incredible year. And then personally, I think the Silver Fox has to get a mention here because it has literally been one of the toughest years of my life. The year started with him having more falls, more injuries, COVID again. Then we got his dementia and Alzheimer's diagnosis in the summer, which was not a surprise, but still was, quite a big moment. September, he had a stroke. And I think I'm ending this year with my business having grown, which honestly baffles me because the amount that I have had to be, or not had to be, chosen to be at his bedside, at his hospital bed, nursing him, caring for him, helping him navigate this stage of life that, he doesn't really know what's going on in so much. Well, he's cognitive, but he doesn't realize that he's got dementia and Alzheimer's and just keeps saying to me, when my memory gets better, I'll feel better and all this sort of thing. So I think personally, it is the resilience and the strength that I have had this year and found in myself that I just never would have believed that I would have.
Oh, I can't believe it's been almost a year since you published your book. So about 9 months or something. Is it about 9 months? I can't believe that. It's crazy. But I've seen some of the attention that your book has received. And I just want to say congratulations because I know that you take it so seriously. It wasn't just another book. There's a lot of people that write books because they've been told write a book. But I feel like your book is going to be with you for a long time. It's going to take a massive humdinger for you to write a second one, if that makes sense and stuff. This book's going to really, almost outstay its welcome. Shall we say that and stuff? So congratulations.
We can say that. Yeah. And I think
we can say that. Yeah.
I don't think I anticipated the impact and the, even the messages that I received from people in the States, Australia, that I've never heard. They're not in my world, so to speak.
Yeah.
But yeah, that has been really, really humbling seeing the impact that it's had internationally is massive.
Who's going to ask me my question? Ask me.
Victoria. What's the question?
What's been the highlight of your year?
Professionally and personally this year.
Do you know what? For me, the fact that I still have a business is a miracle. Again, I'll say to anybody, I just want people to know that all that glitters is not gold. When people see you looking amazing, the dresses, the glasses, the hair, blah, blah, and stuff, it's it's a choice to show up. And so having a business and working, I worked harder last year and achieved less. This year, I worked hard, but I also worked intentionally. And that for me has been incredible. And also having this woman here, Rochelle, as an accountability partner and stuff, and just supporting each other, having those conversations. Sometimes we'll talk for hours, and it might just seem like you just talk for hours, but it's actually just loosening those things up in each other's businesses just to get you to the next level and stuff. And it's just sometimes it doesn't arrive quickly. Sometimes it takes a while, but it has been. It's been a pleasure to just do the work, but also working with some incredible people and transforming people's lives. And really just being present for those people. You know, and also not being in every space. That for me has been huge. Like I made a real conscious decision this year to create my own spaces. So I hosted my first event as well. That went so well, got rave reviews and what have you. It was a small group, but it was incredible. The results that came out of that, one of the people that attended has 4x'd their sales because of going to that event. Just stuff like that for me is huge. And then I just wrapped up the year with just an incredible contract with a client that has just been, and everything that I could wish for has just materialized. And you know, I put a message on this morning on Instagram, which is, it's still 2025. Don't write off 2025 yet. You know, so much more can happen. Miracles can happen. Have faith, you know, whatever that faith is to you, have faith, because I am a great example of, you know, I mean, yes, I've been used to a flamboyant life and stuff, but then I've also had to scrape and almost be homeless to getting back up there. Like, it's just incredible. And also just never forget what you can do. So one of the things that I learned from Natalie was that she used to have a really high-flying job with a cosmetics company, Benefits. And it's almost like sometimes we forget what we've done in those other jobs. And actually, everything that you've done can really help you with your business. You just need to remember what you've done, remember who you are. And if I'm really honest, I forgot that. I forgot that I'd managed a £9 billion Olympics 2012 program. I'd forgot. And Rochelle, I was just having a random conversation with Rochelle, and I mentioned, I said, oh, yeah, you know, when I ran the Olympics, she went, what? I went, oh, I've not told you that story.
Or like the time when you casually mentioned Kilimanjaro, climbing it, or
climbing, yeah, right. And even just climbing Kilimanjaro, it reminds you how resilient you are. Like, you are resilient. Like, those moments when you say to yourself, I can't do it, I'm done, I've had enough. You climbed a mountain through 4 different seasons. You did it. So remember who you are. So that's a bit of a mishmash, but yeah, there's been loads of highlights for this year, and I'm going into it more grateful, happier, prouder of me, real proud of me, with big plans. I brought on my VA team last night. Yeah, I brought thanks to Naomi and Rochelle, because so I brought in my team. I'm looking forward to it. I'm getting more help in my business that I never thought I'd see the day when that would happen. Yeah, and I'm hosting an event on the 29th of January. So I'm just a live event again. So I'm happy. I'm grateful. And it doesn't mean that everything's perfect. That's another thing as well. Like there's still things to work on and what have you. But,
Sorry, I was talking to my cousin this morning, because she's quite new to business. She started a candle business, and she's working so hard, and she's posting so regularly to social media, and she's just like fighting, and then every now and again she'll think, why am I doing this? And she'll feel upset and want to stop. And like I was saying to her, like lots of things like what you covered there, Victor, like nothing is as good as it looks on the outside. There's plenty of times when I've wanted to quit business. The only difference between someone who's successful and someone who's not successful is the fact that they never gave up. And I think like that's what you've proved over the last couple of years. It's not because you weren't good at doing what you do. And for me, it was the same. There was various different things that happened that then have a knock-on effect on things, and it's keeping going through those bad seasons and knowing that there's light at the end of the tunnel. But if we give up, we'll never know what's waiting for us.
Yeah. Thanks, Rochelle. So, final words.
No, what was Rochelle's highlight? We haven't heard Rochelle's highlight.
I think I gave you loads.
She gave us. Did she not give us loads?
You remember? Yeah, I think I was first.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, I thought that was for a different question. I've been waiting to hear what Rochelle's. Sorry.
I think we all need a break.
I was like, you just made me second guess myself then. I was like,
I just thought, oh, that's for a different question. But yeah,
No,
which one of those she's going to say was the?
Oh yeah, I think my event. I think that was a good end to the year running that, because I think if I'm not, so at one point I was like, there's not enough people coming, I'm just going to cancel it. But if I'd have done that, I probably would have then never tried to organise one again. So I did it. There was 20 people there. Like, the room was amazing. The people that were there were amazing. Everyone took something away from it, and then it's inspired me to do more next year. So sometimes, and I think you had a similar experience, Victoria, with your event, didn't you? At times it was like, oh, I'm like, no one's biting. Like, you put in all this effort into trying to sell something, and no one's coming forward. And then, like, once you make that decision, yes, I am definitely doing this, there's nothing that's going to stop it from happening, then people start to come forward, and you inspires you to do more.
Your event was amazing, Rochelle. And I remember Rochelle saying to me, "Oh, do you think I should still do it?" I went, "Do it, because if you don't, in 2026, it's still going to be your first event, and you don't want that." I said, "Do it so that now you know where it is." The venue was amazing, the caliber of people that turned up, but the conversations, like, it was all about financial awareness, which is not my strong point, and I took so much away from it. And I said to Rochelle, I was like, I don't know if you planned it this way, but it was almost like the most beautiful dinner. It was just a beautiful meal full of different recipes that just complemented each other. It was amazing. I loved it, and I can't wait to see. I can't wait to see what you create. I honestly believe that you're going to change the trajectory for live events, because everything at the moment is very much sales and marketing and this, and actually there's core livelihood skills that we need that are being ignored, because we want to know what messaging looks like, we want to know, what tool to use, we want to know where to put a hook and everything. And I'm not saying those aren't important, but the knowledge, I mean, I remember, we had a friend get there, and she got invited and stuff, and she just kept on sort of like picking up notepads and writing. There was this girl that just wrote for 3 hours. She just wrote for 3 hours. There was so much information. So I'm excited for what you're gonna bring.
Thank you.
Naomi, what are you hoping for next year? What you're hoping for in life for yourself? So what's that big wish, if you want to share it? And also, what would you like to talk about on here next year?
Ooh, okay. So I've already chosen my word for next year. This is something I've been doing for the last couple of years.
Yeah.
And my word is spacious.
Oh, yes.
And that is what I'm creating in my life. And I've been, it's not something I'm starting on the 1st of January. I've been starting it behind the scenes for the last couple of months. So I'm creating space in my business, in my life, so that I can have more of what I want, and actually less. I want less of some things too. So that's something that I'm excited about it, but also creating conversations for next year. Oh, I think we just need to amplify, be as bold as we've already been. But I do think, some of you probably know this, like, this year has been as the year of the snake. Next year is the year of the phoenix. Therefore, I do believe that lots of us have been shedding skins, and we are just about to rise from, all the crap, because this year has felt really, really messy I know it's like you said, all that glitters isn't gold. I think most of us have had a real year of it. I just think big, bold, brave conversations, honest, real. I think people are sick and tired of pretense, falseness, highlight reels, polished brand photography. I think people want the messy, the honest, the transparent. I certainly get those messages. People always say to me, God, I much prefer it when I see your, like, selfie that's up of you just got out of bed rather than like one of your polished brand pictures. I just think people want real now. People are sick and tired and fatigued of thinking that everything out there is gold for other people, but not for them.
I like that. Thank you. EJ, what are you hoping for next year?
Well, I choose a word
to talk about
here as well. And so what's happened to me is for some years, I've sort of been so scared to let go of the word of the previous year that it's become a bit of a mantra. So like the word just it becomes like 7 words now that I just add one at the end every year. I add one, but I'm adding two this year. The first one is victory, because I've had to go into battle mode this year, and in my battle mode, like I was saying to you before, Victoria, I've had to go into battle at work. I've had to go into battle with the ex. I've had to go into battle. So it's all coming out now in a good way, thank God. So victory is my first word for next year. And the second word is another V, because I've sort of made a reputation for myself as, you might not believe this, I've sort of made a reputation of myself for being a low maintenance kind of person. I don't want to be stressful for anyone. I'm very low maintenance, but the word, and this should tell you where I am in life. Okay. But the second word is villain. I'm entering my villain era next year, where I will stand up for myself, and where I actually don't mind being the villain in your story. I don't mind that now. So the low maintenance thing now has to go. And I have to now, I'm entering an era where I am okay to say what's good for me. And I'm going to be able to say what's not good for me anymore. And we're going to have to get on with it. We're going to have to find a way to be okay with that. So those are my two. That's where I'm at the moment. Is I'm entering the new year. My word is victory, but I'm also entering an era where people will be shocked at my ability to say no.
Amen. I love that.
Yeah, sign me up.
I know. It's like I can feel my African oracle. She's like, I just speaking. You're speaking. I was like, Yeah, I love it. You got me moving. Rochelle, what about you?
I love that we've all got words. So my word for this year was momentum, and I definitely feel like I have built that this year. There's lots of, like, at the start of the year there wasn't very much exciting happening, and just as the year's gone on, things have got more and more exciting. I got invited to Malta to speak at Lisa Johnson's retreat. Next year I'm doing the big festoon in March. Like all these things that have been happening, just like getting invited to different masterminds and memberships to speak and things like that have really built some momentum going into 2026. And this year's actually been my best year ever in business. And it's still been hard, but it's been my best year ever. And next year, I'm looking forward to that being to building on that momentum and making it even better, and being able to go, I'm not struggling anymore. This is getting easier. So my word for next year was going to be visible. And I still think that's going to play a huge part. Like if you think I'm visible already, next year it's like going to a whole new level. And I know that's going to have a massive impact on the business. But the other word that I'm attached to is growth. So Victoria knows what I'm planning for January, and that has growth in the title. And I'm thinking that works well for not only for me, but for what I want for other people as well. So growing my business, I've got lots. I've mapped out all my 2026 there on my calendar, and I know it's going to be difficult, but I've pulled in lots of people to support me for next year, include like a new VA, getting someone to help me with the lead generation. And these things are all going to make things easier for me to be in my zone of genius and doing what I love, like the speaking on the stage and the recording videos, being on social media, that sort of thing. So I'm excited. I'm looking forward. I do think it feels like it's going to be a very good year.
Yeah, I love that. And I am excited. I'm so excited. Like, you have no idea. Yeah, I can't wait to see what you bring to the world. My word. So, okay, so I didn't have a word this year because last year I had a word that was consistency. And I think within the first week that dropped. So I was like, okay, so because I'm just not. But I know. Like within the first week, I was like, yeah, it's not gonna happen. But the thing is, but listen, the thing is that it's like what's really good is, and this is my word, I've kind of got two words, but my word, it's all about owning it. You know what I mean? Like just owning it that okay, I'm not consistent, but here's why I'm not consistent. I'm not going to kill myself because I'm not consistent. And you know, consistent to me could be it could mean something very different to you.
Yeah. I think you are very consistent. So it's funny
Do you
that
think
you
so?
see yourself as consistent. Yeah.
Just the fact that you're here every Wednesday.
Yeah.
Like,
Ellie consistent. Or was it 46?
Okay then. So we've been consistent. But do you know what? I think
more consistent can one person possibly be?
You know what? I think it's like in every other area and stuff. It's like it's almost like trying to be everything to everyone and everywhere. So whilst I may have been consistent here, maybe I've not been consistent on Instagram, or maybe I've not been consistent with like there's other things where I go, oh, but I will say this is that this year I stopped going to bed thinking you've not done enough. I stopped, which was huge for me last year. Like last year, every time I went to bed, I was like, oh God, you haven't done that. You haven't done that. I've been a lot more different. So this time it's about, so I want to take ownership of who I am and everything I do. But also I want to create my own table. There are several stages out there that initially I thought I want to get on top of that. It's like, I want to create my own. And the only way I can do that is by owning me. And a bit like what Rochelle says and stuff, it's like I'm bringing people in to support me because I've not had that in my business. So my business has been maybe slower than others. I don't know. I've not looked, but it has been sometimes where I'm just exhausted because trying to do everything in the business. And I'm like, no, this year is going to change. And thank the Lord, this is possible because now my biggest challenge is, oh, how can this person help me? You know what I mean? It's like, how can this person help me? So again, if you think I'm visible, you're going to be fed up of me because you know there's so much. But also you know, when I go between ownership, I go between table, and I also go between messaging because I really want to meet my audience. I want to meet my tribe. And actually, when I think of all the words, what comes to me is tribe, like really meeting those people. And, you know, so my word for next year is going to be tribe, where you own, you know, in that ownership and you create that table. But I want a tribe. I don't just want followers for the sake of it. So I'm going to be inviting people to leave my space. I'm going to be inviting people. Yeah, you know, that whole thing where you look at, I've had friendships before where I've gone, we're not bringing anything to each other's lives. Let's just call it a day. And if I see you, I'll give you a hug and say hello, and that's okay too. And that's where I'm at. It's like building that tribe and really, really enhancing it and capitalizing on it. So for me, that's really important.
Very good.
Well, thank you so much, ladies.
Wow.
Have a wonderful
Watch out next year. Flipping heck. Everybody's all geared up, aren't we?
We're all geared up. But listen, have a wonderful Christmas, everyone. Enjoy time with your families, your loved ones, on your own. If that's what I know that Naomi's doing that, I envy you. I'm spending it with 17 family members who I adore, but I do love spending it on my own. But have whatever you do, enjoy it, be kind to yourself, and blessings for 2026.
And to you too, Victoria. Thank you.
Bye.
Bye, everyone. Bye-bye.